So here I am in Tanner's Lake, pretty much in the heart of the city, right next to the highway interstate. I didn't have high hopes for it coming to it, honestly. First thing I ever heard about it is that it was probably polluted and had kids who swam in it, had names for it. I don't know. Figured I'd give it a try anyway. But so far, my feelings have been a bit confirmed. It's a big lake, bigger than I thought anyway. But I don't expect to see a lot of nature or anything. Pretty much constant interstate noise. Oh, speaking of noise, I'm using a new mount again. For those two people that watch the other videos. This way you won't get the oar going in front of my camera and auto-focusing. However, you also might not be able to hear me. In which case I'm just kind of talking to myself. But that's okay. Today's video is more like a personal diary anyway. I have a birthday coming up and it's made me think about stuff, I guess you could say. Oh, I think I see a bird over here. Let's go check that thing out. The reason I'm making these videos is every year for my birthday I might leave. There he goes. I'm going to try to ease in. I hope you can see that. It's kind of a fixed mount, so not a lot I can do except aim toward it. Shallows here to see this bird. The tuk-tuk doesn't get stuck. I have actually swam at this lake, so it wouldn't be the first time if I had to get out of the kayak and swim in and pull the kayak out of the weeds, but I'm hoping to avoid that. This bird has no idea what I'm doing. Honestly, neither do I. That's kind of the point of this video diary today. So, I made a personal goal of making 12 YouTube videos from my last birthday to this one. And I'm now within a week of that birthday and quite a few videos to go. So, I'm just going to keep going out on kayaks and talking, I guess. I'll leave the bird alone now. Well, maybe we'll see when we get a little closer. I think he knows I'm no threat, but he's still not going to put up with this for very long. Hopefully you can see him. I always get kind of contemplative around birthdays. One of the reasons I started to make these kind of goals for myself every year was to make sure I accomplished something so I wouldn't get depressed on my birthday. And it's been working. I try to intersperse, I go back and forth between what are considered artistic, quote-unquote, goals. And if you're watching this video, you can see the level of the artistry. And then I go with physical challenges the other years. So, like last year, I tried to do a triathlon. Tried to train and do a triathlon. And then the year before that, I wanted to create some ceramic pieces. And then the year before that, I wanted to lose 60 pounds. You get the idea. So far, I've been successful in that. I got something accomplished anyway. The quality of what was accomplished is questionable. Like one year I wanted to run a half marathon and I basically was starting from not being able to do a 5K And I did it. I ran a half marathon, but I was second to last place. And people watching me, well, I wasn't walking, but I wasn't doing much more. It was more like a hop run kind of thing because I screwed up my ankle. About 3 weeks before the race, I twisted my ankle, and I don't know, it was still pretty messed up during the marathon, or the half marathon, but I've never not accomplished one of these goals, and like I said, I think it would depress me seriously if I did fail at them, so I ran for it. Took me a long time, but I did it. Of course, now that was 2 years ago, and I have to come up with a new physical goal, and honestly, my body seems like it's even in worse shape than it's ever been with my job and with my age, and I don't know if I have gout, I got something with my toe. Things are all messed up. I don't know, I'm a little worried if I set a physical goal like doing the next level up triathlon was one of my ideas, or another running goal, you know, like a marathon this time. Like, it would be very likely that I was not going to succeed, and I don't really want to fail at these things. So, but I also don't want to cop out. You know, this year with so little time, basically less than a week before my birthday, these last 5 videos or so that I have to make are going to be kind of cop-outs. I wanted to make videos to get better at editing and try to do something creative online, because when I retire, I figure that's the kind of crap I'll do. You gotta do something, right? I like to think I'll make it to retirement, even with the body failing. But, yeah, I don't know. There's like so many videos left in less than a week. They're not really going to be well edited. They're just going to be thrown out there, and probably a little humiliating. Just because some of the ideas I had for videos I could do seem funny to me, but also probably the kind of thing I don't want to put online, just because they are kind of embarrassing, even if they don't involve nudity or anything that could get me in trouble. You know, they're not necessarily my proudest ideas, but I don't really have a lot of other ideas, so I'm going to be doing that if it serves me right, because procrastinate, right? These are the lessons you should know by the time you're in your 50s, which, believe it or not, I am in. So, yeah, it's actually kind of pretty out here. This is a city lake, so there's people all over it. So I'm not exactly in my normal comfort area of just kind of talking to myself in the middle of nowhere, where no one can hear me. Going by people's houses where they could clearly hear me if they were listening. That's what I want to, but they could. But it's nice out here. I have seen more birds than I expected to see. Different kinds anyway. Since we're at a city lake, I was kind of just expecting Canadian geese. So many of them in this part of whatever you call it, East Metro, Oakdale, Maplewood, areas like that. I had a friend who had a cabin. It was his first house. It was a starter house, but it was basically like a little cabin on this lake. It was really nice. He had some good parties. Although we didn't play in the lake much. It's a devil to get here. Construction everywhere. Construction never ends. Things were closed, and I ended up in kind of a trailer park area that didn't have any exits except the one you came in on, and couldn't get to the lake the way my map kept telling me to try. That was annoying. I like to do this during sunup. I did not make it. So it's now closer to 7:30. It's gonna have to be kind of a quick kayak, which is all right. I just wanted to explore the lake a little bit, get out there, maybe get some video footage. That's my goal. Maybe bring you along. I'm hoping you can hear me. kind of excited about this new mounting system. We'll see. Maybe it'll be a really nice video, but really annoying listening to me. It's just often the case, but if it's too bad, what I'll do is I'll just put music on it or something. I can always edit myself out of these things. I don't pretend to be super interested in myself, so I can't imagine why you necessarily would be. But I don't know. I will say, if you're looking for something to do for your birthdays, setting a goal and going for it for the next year is kind of a nice thing to do. Like, one year I basically had to write a page of something every day of the year, well, I didn't do that, who am I kidding, but I had to basically write 365 pages of something, which forced me to get to writing, and it's another thing I want to keep doing. And I don't know. Oh, there's a nice duck. I don't know, the point is you set your goals and you go for them. It's one of my favorite expressions. Set your goals and you go for them. So, I think we found our egret friend. It's a neat yard. Originally I was worried that people would think I was trying to sneak up on them in the middle of the night, because I thought I'd be out here at like 5:30 in the morning. It took me so long to get here, though. It didn't happen. Some nice ducks. This lake actually seemed to like have a little current, so I actually was a little worried about kayaking in it, but it's been really easy. I enjoy the tuk-tuks. It's the kayak I'm on. Find them very easy to work with. Put them in my trunk. That being said, I wouldn't trust them on like these seas or crazy rivers or any of that nonsense. It's just a way to get around the lakes. And being in Minnesota, there's quite a few. I can't imagine how many exactly. I feel like there's got to be over 9,000. I don't know, I'll look into it at some point, do some research. A lot of lakes in Minnesota. It's one nicer than I thought once you get away from the interstate in the trailer park. Nothing against trailer parks. I lived in a trailer for a while. Well, I lived in an RV. So, certainly not judging. Not always kept up all that well. Unfortunately. I'll probably just go down to the end of this lake and see what we can see. Look for some more birds, and then we'll turn around, get home, go to sleep, because I gotta work tonight. Duck coming in for a landing. Like fond of ducks. I grew up near a lake that had a lot of ducks, so I like ducks. At some point, somebody explained to me what ducks do when they mate, and kind of wish that hadn't happened, because it kind of paints ducks in a whole different light that I'm not thrilled about. I don't know. Such is life. I'm often jealous of those who know less. It's hard to imagine someone knowing less, but at least when it comes to sexual practices of ducks, I'm jealous of those that know less. Anyway, let's talk about something else. I wonder if you can see the reflection I'm getting on this lake. It's really very nice. I'm getting a nice mirror effect. And I'm coming into a part of the lake that must be a different temperature because we're starting to get steam coming off of it. So, probably means it's more shallow, I guess. That's my thought anyway. Definitely more shallow. Pushing through weeds here. Very pretty. That heron-looking bird was blue. I can't imagine it was actually a blue heron. Might have been. I don't know. The nice things about being out here alone is I don't have to deal with people judging me for my lack of knowledge on creatures, large and flighted, small. I just have to deal with putting it on YouTube and having people possibly watch it and then judge me. But that's alright. It'd be worth the scorn. You hear that? What kind of bird was that? We'll find out. I don't think I can get all the way to it. We'll try. Clearly there are boats on this lake. When I was getting in, I did see a rule saying you're not allowed to go more than 10 miles per hour, which I don't think I'm in danger of doing, despite not watching my speed. Maybe I'll put this video on 3 times speed when I'm editing it, and it'll seem like I'm going really fast, but I don't think anyone's going to believe it. Despite all the boats on the docks around here, though, I don't see anyone actually out besides me. This is life. A friend of mine, his kid was at a marina recently, and she asked her dad why they don't have a boat, something like that. He could tell you the story better than I could, and basically he just said, you know, we don't. And she said, well, can't we just borrow one of these? And I like that idea, you know. I like the idea for a while that Tesla had where they were going to make the cars all auto drive on their own, and then basically you could just let it go off and pick other people up so less people had to own cars. I feel the same way about boats. And I said less people had boats and could all just borrow each other's boats. Could lend people my tuk-tuk. I'm not married to it or anything. Nobody's going to screw with it. You know. If most of these people are like my sister with her boat or whatever, they get it out 2 or 3 times because they work and stuff. just the way it is. I've owned things that, well, I think I owned this kayak for a year before I was able to get out on the lake with it. And if I weren't making the excuse of making videos, I probably wouldn't be on it right now. So, yeah, might as well let other people use them when you're not using them, and take turns, and we can all get along. And I'm sure that's considered communist or something, but what the hell? I'd like to be able to borrow somebody's speedboat for when I'm not feeling like I want to paddle. So, I don't know. The wisdom of children. That's what I told my friend. I said, she's on to something. Let's all just borrow each other's stuff. Sorry about that squeak. Every now and then my shoes do that against the bottom of the kayak. Which is a drag if you're watching this video purely to put it on so your dog has someone to talk to him while you're gone. I recommend it. I like dogs. But if you're doing that, those squeaks probably get their attention in a way that you're not looking forward to. You want to keep the dogs calm. At least we like to keep our dogs calm. Although we don't do it successfully. I'm not seeing a ton of nature, but I'm seeing a ton of fake nature. I saw a metal crane at one point, and I think now I'm heading over to a fake deer in somebody's yard. But fake animals. I don't know. No fake Bigfoots though. Seems like everywhere you go in Minnesota, somebody's got one of those fake Bigfoots. But not on good old Tanner's Lake. Ooh, fish. Actually a little worried about one of our dogs. She's an older dog that we kind of adopted when the owner couldn't take care of her anymore. And we knew when we got her that she was already a pretty old dog and she had health problems and stuff. Oh, I think I got their carp in here. Anyway, today she seemed awfully uncomfortable. And then you have to start thinking about when you're wanting the dog around, it becomes more about you and less about the happiness of the dog. I don't like to think about it. Anyone who's had dogs in their life for most of their life has had to go through that. I don't mean to bring up sad topics. It's still worth it. It's still worth it adopting a dog if you don't have one. Ooh, I'm in an area of a lot of fish. Jumping up all over my boat here. I wish I had some Polaroid lenses. Spent my life, my dad always told me, you gotta have Polaroid lenses so you can see the fish. Rarely do I have that opportunity, but I think actually I'm in a situation where I would be able to see fish bouncing all over, creating ripples. Oh well, next time I bring Polaroid lenses. Look at the clouds today. Let me see if I can show you the clouds. It's just a pretty day. And once you get to this end of Tanner's Lake, you're pretty much clear of the interstate noises. It's good to know. I should probably start heading back soon, but I kind of want to see what this big stick is over here. There's some birds in the tree. When does a downed tree become a big stick? It's clearly not still alive, but it seems too big to call it a stick. when does a stick become a branch and when does a branch become a part of a tree? I don't know. When did I become an old man? When did I become a man? When did I stop being a kid? Plenty of people would say I never did. I don't know. Once you're in your 50s, though, it's kind of hard to deny. Recently at work, we had a band that I remember being a legendary group, like one of the most successful pop groups, female pop groups in a decade or something. And I told my coworkers, I said, wow, it's crazy that they're playing here, like kind of in a smaller venue, and we didn't even sell out. Like, this group was huge. This group had probably 10 top 10 hits, and it's a really successful female group. I don't want to talk crap about them, but they did lose one of their members, I don't know, in the early 2000s, and they still perform, but without them now, so I'm sure that has something to do with it. But still, give them a lot of props. Like, they were a very big group. Let's see if you can guess who I'm talking about, because I'm trying to be tactful. I don't want to give them crap, because I have a lot of respect, but it does seem weird that they were playing in my venue on a Sunday. But whenever I mentioned it to my coworkers who are quite a bit younger than me, they were like, well, yeah, but those hits were like, what, when in the 90s? To them, that was ancient history, like how I used to look at the Everly Brothers or something when I was younger. But to them, yeah, the 90s was a long time ago. To me, it was my heyday. I still have flannels from that era. So, I don't know. Time goes fast. That's why you gotta set a goal once in a while. Get on a lake once in a while. Take some time to just, I don't know, think about shit. Oh, sorry about the swearing. Oh well. This might be where my friend used to live. I never saw it from the lake side. I only saw it from his house. So yeah, this might be the place I was telling you about. Interesting. They took in his pier. His dock. Uh-oh, ducks crossing. Maybe I'll go home and listen to some TLC. It occurred to me that they kind of stagnated a little after the 90s, despite being a super talented group. I suspect it's because they stopped chasing waterfalls, just stuck to the river and the streams they were used to. You gotta strive for stuff, man. Maybe I didn't get the point of that song. I thought I saw a bird here up here, but I don't know what that is actually. it a bird? A game show. It is not a bird. It's art. Somebody left art. Nice. Alright, ducks, show me the way back to the deck. Here. Go across the mighty Tanner Lake to get there. There it was again. Sorry, dogs. When I got in, I was thinking to myself, I hope these guys fishing next to me are trustworthy. I don't go very fast in my kayak, and they saw where I parked. They wanted to mess with my car. I pretty much got a clean getaway. They would know for sure. But I trust them. In general, I trust people. Probably more than I should. That's a good way to live. I'm certainly happier, it seems, than a lot of people that don't come from a place of trust. Don't get me wrong, I'm paranoid. I worry about everything. But it's okay to worry about it and be paranoid as long as you're aware of yourself that you're being paranoid and don't let it affect your life too much. You can lock your doors. Just don't be afraid to leave your house, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? That's my perspective anyway. I thought by now in my life I'd have a lot more wisdom than that, but you have to take what you can get, I guess. To jinx it, so because I'm still kind of in the middle of the lake here, but I think this is another successful outing for the Tuk Tuk kayak. These things go on sale a lot. You can usually get them for under 400, often closer to 3. So I don't know. I always try to figure out how many times I need to use something to make it worth the money. So far I've been happy with this. I've gone out on it quite a few times now, and I don't know. You gotta get out in the water, you know. I think it was Melville that wrote that eventually he gets so crazy he wants to start knocking people's hats off, and that means it's time to get to the sea. The sea calms him. That obviously wasn't a quote. I'm not the kind of person who remembers quotes, but I remember the general ideas, and I've always kind of agreed to it. Like, every now and then I just feel like I gotta see the ocean, or I gotta get out on the water. So, you know, when you live near the ocean, lakes feel like kind of a sad substitute. That being said, it's still really nice to get out on them. It's not quite the same experience of being on a body of water that you know you could go straight out on for weeks before you see another soul if you did it right. But still, even being out here on Tanner's Lake Popeye's chicken less than a mile away and quite a few oil places. I still feel like I'm out in nature. That's nice. I don't know. I'm gonna try to go around these guys fishing and not mess with them too much because they're trying to catch fish. They don't need me kayaking through their area. They get quiet again. But if you listen to me talk during this, I appreciate it. If you turned off the sound and just watched, I appreciate that too. I get it. If you didn't, that's kind of the number one thing I suspect. It's okay too.